السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وصحبه ومن والاه. So in this lesson, we will start this SORF with a brief introduction. So اعلم أن أبواب التصريف 35 بابا، 6 منها للفعل الثلاثي المجرد. So you should know as a student of knowledge that want to learn SORF that the chapters in Arabic morphology as SORF are 35 chapters. If we are talking about chapters here, we mean about like basic or patterns that we have. The patterns or the forms that we have, the forms of verb we have in SORF are all 35. So 6 of these patterns, they pertain to the triliteral basic verb, and that is what we call al-fi'lu al-thulathi al-mujarrad. It means out of these 35 patterns that we have, the triliteral basic verb comprises 6 out of it, or contains 6 out of these 35. So if you subtract 6 from 35, it remains 29 patterns left. Now, these are the abwab. These are the 6 abwab under simple or basic triliteral verb. Al-fi'lu al-thulathi al-mujarrad. So today, inshallah, we will only take one pattern out of these 6 patterns that we said that al-fi'lu al-thulathi al-mujarrad contains. And that first pattern we'll be looking into today is fa'ala yaf'ulu. Fa'ala yaf'ulu. Now, let's take some examples before we talk about the characteristics and what it means by fa'ala yaf'ulu. So these are examples. Nasara yansuru. Kataba yaktubu. Kharaja yakhruju. If we notice this very well, we will see that these things I read now, they are pertaining to the initial verb or the initial pattern I mentioned earlier, that is fa'ala yaf'ulu. Now, it is true. Let's do comparison between the initial pattern and the example that we cited. So this is fa'ala on the top here. Fa'ala. Okay. Let's compare it with nasara. The example we brought, nasara. Nasara. Okay. Nun goes with fa. Sa goes with ain. Ra goes with lam. Not that's all. Not only that, let's look at the symbols on them also. Fatha here, fatha here, fatha here, fatha here, fatha here, fatha here. That means they are the same. Okay, let's look the mudari. This one is for Maldi position, while this one is for mudari position. If we say Maldi, it means past tense, and if we say mudari, it means present tense. So yansuru, look, ya goes with ya, nun with fa, sad with ain, ra with lam. Yansuru. Now the alamat. I said أن يكون عين فعله مفتوحا في الماضي ومضموما في المضارع. That is the middle radical of the verb. That is عين الفعل will have fatha in the madi and will have dhamma in the mudari. It means that for fa'ul fil and lamul fil, they are constant. They won't change. The only thing that will be changed there is ainul fil. And the function of this verb is for muta'addi, transitive verb, and transitive verb a lot of times. That is, it's generally used for transitive verb, but sometimes it can also be used for intransitive verb. Now, let's talk about transitive and intransitive before we end the class. So, al-muta'addi, that is transitive. Al-muta'addi هو ما يتجاوز فعل الفاعل إلى المفعول به. That is, it is the verb whose action passes from the doer to the object. That is, if we use this verb, we will need the what? The object also. It passes straight direct to the object without using any preposition. Like what? Nasara Zaidun Umar. Zaid helped Umar. Can you see? The subject here is Zaid and Umar is the object here. So the verb help transit or yes, it transits or it passes from the doer to the what to the object. And this is the opposite of this one. That is, it is a verb whose action does not pass from the doer to an object, but rather remains with the doer. So here we don't need any object. And even if we'll be needing any object, we will need to use like a preposition before the verb can be transited or can be passed to the object. So the example here is kharaja Zaid. Zaid went out. Atasa Khalid. Khalid sneezed. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.